speaking today with Harpreet Badohal, the NDP candidate in the federal riding of Okanagan Lake West, South Kelowna. Harp, welcome to the federal campaign.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You ran provincially 6 months ago. Are you finding much of a difference when you're talking to people and knocking on doors for this election as opposed to what you heard and what you saw 6 months ago?
Yeah, there is a new dimension that has been added with the President Trump in power on the South side. You know, that is coming up a lot when I knocking at the doors and speaking with people. But still, I would say that the basic issues, they remain the same, they stay the same. So those are the concerns about the affordability and similarly that how the things are going to be with the economy. But one thing which repeatedly comes up is about the maintenance of services for everyday Canadians that I'm hearing a lot.
What do you mean by that?
Well, maintenance of services, what I mean is that what people are saying that because if there are fluctuations in economy, then the services, essential services should be maintained. For example, like the healthcare services, right? They should not be only maintained, but expanded. And also services like if there are loans provided free of cost to students, those should be maintained. Right? Economy should not become a reason to cut the essential services to people. Right? That is coming up a lot.
So what will an NDP government do to maintain those services and also to increase the affordability of such as homes, et cetera, that we keep hearing about, especially in this area?
Yeah, so you see, we had only 24 MPs in the parliament in the last, and we have been able to achieve so much. We achieved a dental care program, and we pushed on pharma care, about which there was recently an announcement by our leader that whatever prescription a doctor writes, that should be paid and should be provided. So that money, which currently people are paying for those prescriptions, that money can be used at some other places for other things, maybe for food. Similarly, there was a national child care policy and also meal programs for students, So those are the services about which we have been fighting with 24 MPs, and we want to do more. And if we get more MPs in the parliament, like I'm trying it to be, so it's just imagine that how beneficial it would be for everyday Canadians, for seniors, for young peoples. That's where we are aiming at, yeah.
During the provincial campaign, you heard a lot, I'm sure, about housing. Yes. And we're still hearing about, housing affordability. The provincial government has brought forth a number of programs, as have the federal Liberals, with some push, I'm sure, from your party federally. What programs are you trying to push or hoping to push to increase the housing stock, and then hopefully at the same time, dumbing down the cost of both rental and for purchase housing?
See, the Canadian homes, the houses, they should be available for Canadians. We have recently proposed that there should be a complete ban on the foreign ownership of the Canadian homes, because we are dealing with a crisis here. Our prices are really high for the houses, and there is not enough supply. Though we are working hard, I know, being a part of the provincial team, that how much of the funding from the provincial level and also with the federal cooperation was coming for the development of the housing. So first thing is that let's stabilize that by saying that no, sorry, there is not going to be any foreign ownership of our Canadian homes. Right? After that, the focus is for continuing developing a different level of not-for-profit housing. So that's a big category when we say that. So that's a housing that helps younger people, to become independent, get away from from the basement of their parents, and that gives them a step forward where they can work and kind of move towards their independent houses if they want to. So those are the strategies towards which we are working, and that's where our focus is. as a federal representative, the main contribution of a federal representative is in the form of providing funding, bringing in funding. And I want to identify that at the local level with the local governments, that which are those programs where I can help bring that funding so that it should help everyday Canadians. It should help regular people. Yeah.
You mentioned off the top President Trump.
Yeah.
And the on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again tariff program, which is apparently off again for at least a little while. How would an NDP government deal with what's going on? I mean, it's a revolving door. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, we have stood for first of all opening the trade barriers between the different provinces. Not only that, but we have also stood up for small businesses. For example, one of the things NDP has proposed is that those credit card fees for the businesses should not be more than 1%. And there are businesses that are paying sometimes 2%, 3%. Those number might look small, but when you start adding how much fees those small businesses end up paying is a huge number, right? So, I mean, if we keep the focus on helping the everyday routine people so that their services are not cut down, that will be helpful. So what I'm trying to say here is, given what is going on in the US, there is an uncertainty. There is an uncertainty that how things will happen. So we have to maintain that balance. So we as NDP have been maintaining that orange balance in the parliament, and our role is to prevent it from turning red and blue like it is in the US. So we have to maintain that balance, and that's what we'll do.
I'm sure, speaking of that balance, you've seen the polls. The NDP support has been slipping. At least poll-wise, much of that going to the federal Liberals. How do you counteract that perception that the bottom is falling out, so to speak?
Well, the polls basically they're a snapshot in time. They're based on the information which is available to the residents, to people every day. And I have seen during my door knocking that people research a lot. They are trying to find the policies of different political parties and what is going to help them if the things become tough. We in the NDP, we are not in a horse race like who has to be number one, number two, number three. We have a focus on which we work, and our focus is everyday regular people, and that's where we have been making our policies, and that's how we will make our policies. Yes, it is our responsibility to make it clear to the residents, to the Canadians, that what our direction is, what type of policies we are proposing, and that's what we are doing. So the real poll, it happens at the end of the month, and that's where we are looking. And also I want to say that sometime, this is an age of the media, and in the last years, millions of dollars have been spent, in the advertising, and much of it against our party leadership and our party, and sometimes that ends up being overshadowing the good work that somebody has done, but that doesn't stay forever. As we get closer to the polls, people do more research, they will see, it will be evident that who is working for them and who is working for the billionaire corporations.
Do you think, in BC in particular, with a provincial NDP government, that sometimes that can work against you federally, especially if people are disenchanted with some of the policies that have been brought up provincially, that it can affect?
Oh, no, not
federally?
at all.
No.
Not at all. I don't feel, rather I am feeling encouraged. I think it gives an opportunity of the cooperation. For example, I am already familiar with most of the representative in the provincial government, because I was training with them, I was in touch with them, and many of those ministers, I know them closely. I think that ends up opening some channels, making things easier to develop programs, basically, and also to move faster on those programs to bring benefits. So that's how we see it.
Harpreet, I want to give you a chance to look at the camera and talk directly to the residents of Okanagan, Lake West, South Kelowna, and tell them why on April 28th they should put a check mark beside your name.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make this request that I want to bring some real federal representation to this region. I want to bring funding for the programs which will help everyday Canadians, everyday residents living in this Okanagan region. I want to work with the local government representatives to find out those programs or to develop those programs which will help seniors if they're struggling, where do they need help, or the programs which will help younger people who have to move out of the region to find jobs somewhere else because they don't have good paying jobs in the region. So what could be done about that? So what I'm looking at is helping everyday Canadians and doing my part of the seva, doing my part of the service. So in which I need your help. So please support me, vote for me, NDP in this region and everywhere else. Thank you.
Harpreet Badohal, NDP candidate, Okanagan, Lake West, South Kelowna. It's a mouthful, but good luck April 28th.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. A lot more comfortable than you were the last time. For sure.
You know why? Because I did not practice this time.
You know what? Sometimes that's the best way, right? You go in there, you know the issues, obviously.
Yeah.
And you kind